Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and today I have another Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire team review for you guys today. And yes, this is another VGC team. Now, before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that whatever I say at the end of the video, after the battle portion of the video, just ignore what I said about how my voice might change during the review portion of the video, which I am recording right now, considering that I recorded the battle portion of the video around March 31st, around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I told you guys that my voice might sound a little different because then I was going to record the review portion of the video around noonish on like the 31st or like April Fool's Day, but that kind of didn't work out considering that I was very busy and I didn't really have a chance to record then. So I'm recording this on April 2nd at around 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just not tired and might as well just get this out and done out of the way, just because I want to get this video out by Friday. But nonetheless, like I said, just ignore that part of what I say. So hey, my voice might be a little different during the review portion of the video, but besides that, there's actually a story about how this team came about. Now, if you can tell already, this is a Trick Room team. Now, at first, I was going to be making another Tailwind team with Tailwind, Suicune, and a new Mega. And the new Mega I wanted to actually try out was Mega Metagross. Now, I actually posted my team on the Facebook group I always talk about in pretty much most of my videos, whether it comes from like team reviews or just like movesets and stuff like that. And I wanted to actually get some like input and like what should I add, what should I take out, and I just got a lot of mixed reviews. So I decided to scrap that idea of just making another Tailwind team, because that's pretty much all I make is just Tailwind teams. So I wanted to try my hands on a Trick Room team, just because I never used a Trick Room team ever, and I wanted to try it out now. So as you can tell from who we have on our team, we have Mega Camerupt, Cresselia, Jellicent, Hariyama, Bisharp, and Sylvia. Now, like I said, I never used a Trick Room team before in my life, so I got a lot of help from that Facebook group. So I'll put the Facebook group into the description box down below. I forgot to mention that at the end of the battle portion of the video, so I do apologize about that part. But nonetheless, you guys know, like, the main thing I do with my reviews, I discuss each Pokemon, tell you what I've given it and why, and at the end I'll show you a battle that I have with this exact team, and that's pretty much it. So with that, let's actually get started with the team. So first off, we're going to be talking about Mega Camerupt. Now, in Trick Room, I know there's like 4 Pokemon that, or should I say 4 Mega Pokemon that you would usually use in Trick Room, which are Mega Ampharos, Mega Abomasnow, Mega Mawile, and Mega Camerupt. Now, I actually wanted to use one of the new Megas, and the one that came to mind, which is the best for Trick Room, is Mega Camerupt. I mean, once it Mega evolves, its speed is going to be decreasing by 20, so its actual base speed is going to be 20. And when the Trick Room's up, Camerupt is going to be the fastest Pokemon on the field. So I like Mega Camerupt, and I just want to try out Mega Camerupt as well, because I never really used it at all, just because I didn't really like its base stats when it's a Mega Evolution. So that was partially the reason why I never used it, and since I'm making a Trick Room team, I decided to test it out. And so far, I'm just in love with Mega Camerupt. Now, pretty much, obviously, for its item, you need Mega Camerupt's Mega Stone, and for its ability, I decided to give it Solid Rock over like the Magma Armor or the Anger Point before you Mega Evolve, just because Solid Rock reduces super effective damage. So if you don't Mega Evolve, then super effective damage that Camerupt would be taking will be reduced by like 1/4, I believe. My math may be wrong, so don't hold me against that. But anyways, Solid Rock, it just reduces some of the super effective damage that Camerupt would receive if you don't Mega Evolve. Now, for its EV spread, I went with the most common EV spread: max HP, max special attack, and like 4 or 8 in its special defense and or its physical defense with a quiet nature. Now, I actually went with 248 in its HP rather than like 252, just because I wanted that 4 extra points into its special defense, knowing that most of the time my opponent is going to be going for like the Scald or like the Earth Power with someone else. Most likely it's going to be like with Heatran, or it's going to be like Scald coming from like a Greninja, just for an example. So you never know, that last 8 in special defense could actually help you out in the long run. And I actually want to take full advantage of Mega Camerupt's ability, which is sheer force. So max special attack with a special attacking boosting nature, which is quiet nature, with the sheer force ability. Earth power and heat wave are just going to be doing massive amount of damage, and that's the one thing I really like about Mega Camerupt is that once you actually set up the trick room, there's pretty much nothing stopping Mega Camerupt from just dealing massive amount of damage to your opponent. And I was actually battling on my DS with this team, and a sheer force sun boosted heat wave with helping hand boosted as well can literally almost one shot and make a Charizard Y, and I was actually surprised just because of how much damage it did. So I actually was underestimating the power of a Mega Camerupt, but I actually take that back. But anyways, for its move, we are running Protect, Hidden Power Ice, Earth Power, and Heat Wave. Now, for Hidden Power Ice, I was actually thinking about opting it out for like Hidden Power Grass, considering that I don't have an answer for like Rotom Wash. So I was thinking about giving it Hidden Power Grass, but then I actually decided to go for Hidden Power Ice rather than Hidden Power Grass, which you guys will know in a sec on why I give it Hidden Power Ice over Hidden Power Grass. But I was actually reading, and with max special attack with like a special attacking boosting nature, can literally just one shot pretty much all dragon type Pokemon, and also Thundurus, which is going to be a huge problem if it gets off like taunts, Thunder Waves, and stuff like that on to my team. I mean, granted, Thunder Wave can't actually help my team in the long run considering it is Trick Room, but nonetheless it will be able to just one shot Thunduruses, and I just love that about Hidden Power Ice on Mega Camerupt. Now Earth Power and Heat Wave, I really don't have to go over Earth Power because it's stab and it's a ground type move, and Camerupt is part ground, and same thing for Heat Wave, it's stab, it hits both of my opponents, and also it is stab, and it will be boosted by sheer force. So with that, there is Mega Camerupt. So pretty much all in all, once you get the Trick Room up, there's literally like nothing you can stop let me rephrase that. There's literally nothing stopping Mega Camerupt from dealing massive amount of damage to your opponent, and that's the one thing I love about Mega Camerupt. So with that, let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is Cresselia. Now, obviously, if you're going to be using like a Trick Room team, Cresselia is literally like the best Trick Room user to have on your team. Now, if you guys watch my Why Make Evolve video on Cresselia, I do not really like Cresselia whatsoever. It's just something about it that I just don't like. And I actually decided to put it on the team considering that Cresselia is just a bulky monster, and it's a very good Trick Room user because I know that I will be able to live a knockoff from like a Life Orb Bisharp, which is very common in VGC, or just a knockoff in general from pretty much anyone, including like Hariyama, because I do see a couple Hariyamas in VGC without the Trick Room, and they do carry like the knockoffs, and they always just try to target my Cresselia. But nonetheless, Cresselia, like I said, is the best Trick Room user in VGC in my opinion. Now, like I said, I really never used a Cresselia before, so I kind of needed help with this set as well. Now, at first, for its item, I actually went with Rocky Helmet because, like, for some reason, like, my mind's still in, like, singles, because I actually have a Cresselia on a singles team. I believe it's an RU, if I'm not mistaken, and I actually have Rocky Helmet on it, and I know that my opponent is just going to be going for, like, knockoffs for days, or just dark type, like physical dark type moves in general, just to try to take out my Cresselia. So I wanted to like have my opponent take a little bit more damage if they had like Life Orb or anything like that. But I actually got like a lot of feedback saying no, give Cresselia either like the Citrus Berry or the Mental Herb, and I actually decided to go with the Mental Herb because I cannot tell you like how many times the Mental Herb has actually literally saved my ass from getting swept, because I actually did come across like a couple of Thunduruses and also some Gengars who try to taunt my Cresselia, and if you don't know what Mental Herb does, pretty much you can't get taunted, attracted, or like disabled or anything like that once you have the Mental Herb on Cresselia. And there's a couple people who were trying to taunt my Cresselia thinking I had like the Rocky Helmet or the Citrus Berry, but no, I actually had the Mental Herb and it saved my ass, and I got the Trick Room up perfectly fine. So I went with the Mental Herb on Cresselia. Now for its EV spread, I actually did get help from a lot of people in the Facebook group. They literally gave me an EV spread where Cresselia can live a knockoff from a Life Orb Bisharp, and that's the one thing that's like scaring me to death. It's just Bisharp, because Bisharp can literally take care of both of my Trick Room users. If you cannot tell who else is my Trick Room user, so that was pretty much like the main focus for its EV spread, is just to be able to live a knockoff from like a Bisharp or a Hariyama or whatever the case may be, just to have Cresselia live at least one knockoff, just to get the Trick Room up, because the main focus of the team obviously is a Trick Room team, so you have to get Trick Room up as fast as possible to pretty much do anything without getting swept. So that's like I said, the main purpose of the EV spread. And obviously the nature is relaxed. It's pretty much just bull nature, but instead of like reducing your physical attack, you're going to be reducing your speed. Obviously, like I said, Trick Room, but nonetheless, that's its EV spread in nature. Now for its moves, we are running Trick Room, Helping Hand, Psychic, and Energy Ball. Now obviously Trick Room, don't have to explain, and Helping Hand literally just comes in handy a lot. I actually use Helping Hand more than I would use like Psychic or Energy Ball, just because of how bulky Cresselia is. This thing can take literally hits for days, and I can get Helping Hand off with a lot of my Pokemon to do massive amount of damage to my opponent. So Helping Hand does really come in handy, and I actually use Helping Hand a lot more, like I said, than like Psychic or Energy Ball. Psychic obviously is because it's stab, and also I do not understand Psyshock, so I don't know if Cresselia can learn it or not, but I went with Psychic just because I like Psychic better than Psyshock. And the last move we are running is Energy Ball. Now this is the main point of why I didn't run like Hidden Power Grass on my Camerupt, is because I'm running Energy Ball on my Cresselia. And before you guys say, oh, Energy Ball is a crap move on Cresselia, well, I actually had like a lot of feedback from like putting Energy Ball on Cresselia, because someone in the Facebook group said, hey, put Energy Ball on Cresselia, and I was like, wait, why would you put Energy Ball on Cresselia where you can have like Ice Beam or Icy Wind? Well, first off, Icy Wind is a bad move to go with for a Trick Room team, because you're going to want to be, I would say, slower but faster at the same time, and reducing your opponent's speed will make them faster when Trick Room's up. So Icy Wind wasn't cutting it. Ice Beam, I have Hidden Power Ice on my Camerupt, and I also have Ice Punch on my Hariyama, so there was pretty much no reason to run like another Ice type coverage move on Cresselia. And like I said, I needed a counter for, or I needed a move to take care of Rotom Wash, because like I said, my whole team literally like has no counters for Rotom Wash, and someone suggested Energy Ball, so I put it on, and I came across a couple of Rotom Wash, and I cannot tell you, like, that was the best decision I actually decided to go with, because Energy Ball literally takes care of Rotom Wash. I mean, yes, it probably will do like 20 to 25%, but that's actually damage you can be able to take out in a certain amount of time to take out Rotom. So Energy Ball is a very, very good coverage move in my opinion for Cresselia on this team. So with that, there is Cresselia. Let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is Jellicent. Now, obviously, like I said, Cresselia is probably like the best Trick Room user in VGC 2015. Now, I also wanted to use another Trick Room user just in case that, like, if I don't bring Cresselia to a battle or Cresselia dies and I didn't have a chance to set up Trick Room, I have another Pokemon in the back where I can actually set up Trick Room. And that Pokemon that came to mind was Jellicent, because usually when I come across a Jellicent in VGC, they always want to set up Trick Room. So I went with that Trick Room spread or set for Jellicent. So for the item, I gave it the Colbur Berry. Now, I don't know if this is common or not, but I got this set from a friend, and he said this is like an amazing set, just because if you don't know what the Colbur Berry does, pretty much it has to damage from super effective attacks, and that's the one thing I really like about the item, because like I said, like Bisharp is a very, very big problem for like my Trick Room users, so I want to live at least one like knockoff from pretty much anyone, especially Bisharp, because it's stab and it's just going to be doing massive amount of damage even with the Life Orb, and pretty much the Colbur Berry is going to be making the knockoff neutral damage, so I know I'll be able to live at least one knockoff from a Bisharp, Hariyama, or whatever the case may be, and I can actually set up Trick Room. So that's the one thing I really love about that berry, because like I was saying, I really never used a Jellicent at all before, and when I got this set from my friend, I tested it out, and I actually tested out a Smogon set as well, because the EV spread that the Smogon set was using was pretty much almost max HP, max special attack, and like the rest in like physical defense, and I was actually optimistic about it, because I really didn't know how well it was going to do, and that set was complete garbage, but this set is way better. Now, like I said, for the Cresselia, the EV spread that my friend used, I believe it's his own. I don't know if it's not is or not, because I got this from my friend, and he said that this is an EV spread to the point where once the Colbur Berry is activated, you will be able to live a knockoff from a Bisharp, or just a knockoff from anyone who uses it, because like I said, the main focus here is to at least live a knockoff from pretty much anything, just to set up Trick Room, because like I said, Trick Room is like the main point of this team, and you need to get it up ASAP to pretty much do anything to your opponent without getting swept. So the Colbur Berry is like the best thing, or best item for it in VGC, in my opinion, and the EV spread is what my friend used, and it's just amazing. And he also has a sassy nature, so he's going with a calm, or not calm, but a special defensive nature as well. But it's just, instead of minusing attack for a calm nature, it's actually using a sassy nature, which is actually minusing speed and increasing your special defense. So that's the one thing I really like about this EV spread as well. For its ability, we're actually going with Water Absorb rather than like the Curse Priority, just because I am running Mega Camerupt and I'm also running Bisharp as well. So if I actually think my opponent's going to be going for like a Scald or a Hydro Pump or anything like that, either on like my Mega Camerupt or my Bisharp, when they go for Scald to try to burn my Bisharp, I can always just switch out into Jellicent, and if I am losing some HP, Water Absorb will pretty much be like recover, I would say. And it is neutral, or not neutral, does resist water type attacks now. So Water Absorb, I believe, is like the best ability for this team, just so then if my opponent does, like I said, go for like a water based type attack either on my Camerupt or on my Bisharp to try to burn it, I can actually switch out into Jellicent and pretty much just take the hit. So that's why I'm running Water Absorb over Curse Body. Now for the moves, my friend actually is running Trick Room, Recover, Will-O-Wisp, and Scald. And like I said, I wanted another Trick Room user just in case if I don't bring Cresselia, or Cresselia does die, I actually have another Trick Room user in the back to set it up again. So obviously this team is based off of Trick Room, so I need another Trick Room user. Recover, just in case, like if my opponent doesn't go for like a water based type attack on my Cresselia, on my Jellicent, I can actually gain some HP back. Will-O-Wisp to pretty much just cripple all the physical type attackers, and Scald because it's stab, and also I can get the potential burn on my opponent as well. So that's the one thing I really do like about Scald. So with that, there is Jellicent. Now, like I said, this is my friend set. Now, I am going to be posting, like I said, the Facebook group in the description box down below. I'm not going to be naming any names. I'm not going to name my name as well, so you guys can like try to flood me in like Facebook messages. So, because I want to keep that private as well, so I'm not going to name who I am or anything like that. So don't start asking in the group. But with that, let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is Hariyama. Now, Hariyama, as you guys already may know, is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I had a thing with like Hariyama where it's like I want to have a Hariyama on like every team I make, just because it's so fucking amazing. I just love its design. I love what it does, and it has a very, very good move pool, and I just love it. Now, usually most of the time I go with like the Assault Vest set, but in this case I actually went with the Citrus Berry set. Now, like I said, I've never really used a Hariyama in like doubles, and nonetheless a Trick Room team, so I needed help with like its EV spread and item as well, because like I said, I was actually going to be going with like the Assault Vest variant, but I went with the Citrus Berry instead. Now it doesn't take hits as well as I would like to, so I'll probably will switch it to Assault Vest. But if I do, I will put like a note somewhere around this video saying, hey, I switched this item to this item because it works better, or something like that. So for now, Citrus Berry is the item of choice I've given for this Hariyama, and sometimes I will be able to live a hit, and Citrus Berry does kick in, so that is also on the plus side as well. And for its ability, I went with the Guts ability, just in case if my opponent does decide to like burn or toxic my Hariyama, I will get that 1.5 boost into my physical attack because of the Guts ability. And for its EV spread, I went with the Brave Nature with max attack and split the rest of the EVs in both of its defenses. Now, I actually got this EV spread off of Smogon, and for some reason I just don't like it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because like Hariyama's defenses are just like, I would say booty, but not booty at the same time. But its HP is what pretty much like covers for its very bad defenses. Now at first I actually had Machamp over Hariyama, but a lot of people said, hey, switch Machamp for Hariyama just because it's better and it gets access to Fake Out. I did, and Hariyama is just very, very good, I guess, and it does put in the work when you actually get a chance to do it. So that's the one thing I really like about Hariyama. And for the moves, I am running Fake Out, Close Combat, Ice Punch, and Rock Slide. Fake Out, obviously, I can pretty much just fake out the most threatening Pokemon on my opponent's team to the point where, like, okay, who's going to be taking out my Trick Room user, because I know I have to get Trick Room up as ASAP. So I fake out my, like, the most threatening Pokemon, get up Trick Room, and Hariyama can just pretty much sweep from there. And Close Combat, obviously, because it's stab and it's the most powerful move, stab move for Hariyama. Ice Punch for coverage, and like I said, I'm not running like Ice Beam or like Icy Wind on my Cresselia, so I needed like another like Ice type base move, and Ice Punch on Hariyama is what I chose. And the last move I am running is Rock Slide, just so then I can hit both of my opponent, and also if I don't have like Camerupt or Bisharp or even Sylvia on the other side of my field, next to like my Trick Room user or anything like that, I can actually hit both of my opponents and also pretty much try to get the flinch on them if possible, and that can help me out in the long run. It also take care of like flying type Pokemon like Talonflame, Thundurus, and all of them like flying type base Pokemon. But I can tell you right now, Hariyama is not going to be able to live a Brave Bird whatsoever from a Talonflame, so it's pretty much useless to try to use Rock Slide on the Talonflame unless my opponent goes for like a different move on a different Pokemon. Then I can actually Rock Slide and knock it out. So with that, there is the Hariyama. Now, like I said, I'm thinking about switching its EV spread around and also its item with like the Assault Vest, just because I like the Assault Vest better on Hariyama rather than the Citrus Berry. I don't know. I'll get to it when I get to it. I probably will change it, but there's like no guarantees. So with that, let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is Bisharp. Now, as you guys already may know, Bisharp is just a very, very good Pokemon in VGC, and with all the team reviews that I've done, pretty much Bisharp is on almost every single one of them. And I actually wanted to put Bisharp on this team just because, like, at first, I actually had someone suggest using Excavalier, and I tried Excavalier, and it just wasn't working out for me. It's just something about Excavalier where it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that there was something that felt off about using Excavalier on this team. So I switched it out for Bisharp, and instead of actually running max speed and like pretty much like in my Tailwind teams, I actually went with max HP, max physical attack, and 8 in special defense with a Brave Nature. I wanted to make this thing a little bit more bulkier, so I just pretty much maxed out its HP. Well, technically I did, but I didn't. I just put 248 in its HP and 8 in special defense. So pretty much a standard EV spread for a Bisharp if you're going with like a bulky set for like a Trick Room, and that's what I went with. And pretty much its item is, I actually went with Focus Sash over like Life Orb, just so then like if my opponent like tries to knock me out in one go, I will have the Focus Sash intact, be at pretty much 1 HP, try to like get a Iron Head or a knockoff off, or like a Sucker Punch if that. So that's the one thing I have the Focus Sash on for, just so that like, if I go for Protect and the Protect failed the next time, if I try to go for a double, I have the Focus Sash and it's in contact, and I can actually go for the Protect the next turn, so try to get like a triple Protect, if that makes sense. But anyways, for its ability, obviously it's Defiant, and for its moves, it's pretty much the exact same moveset as my other Bisharp's: Protect, Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Knockoff. The best move pool for Bisharp in my opinion. But instead of like, sometimes some people don't run like, I believe, Iron Head or Knockoff and run like Low Kick or Night Slash, but I like this set better. So with that, there's really nothing I can go over on Bisharp other than it's pretty much the exact same thing, but instead of like max speed, it's actually has max HP with 8 in special defense with a Brave Nature rather than like an Adamant Nature. So with that, like I said, nothing really else I can go over. So let's move on to the last Pokemon, which is Sylveon. Now, as you guys already may know, I actually have Sylveon in a couple of my teams and pretty much on some of my team review videos. Now, I went with Aaron Cybertron Zhang's like Choice Specs set for my Sylveon for a while, and I actually wanted to use the exact same thing, but I wanted to switch it up a little, and that's what I've done. Now, as you can tell, for its item, I actually went with a Life Orb over the Choice Specs just because I want to actually have the option of using Protect, because I went with Protect over like Helping Hand, just because if I decide to lay out like my Sylveon and with my Jellicent and or Cresselia, I can Protect with Sylveon, get the Trick Room up, and I'm pretty much set to go. And Even though that Life Orb does 1.3 damage rather than 1.5 actually using the choice specs, it still does a massive amount of damage. And also, I actually had a battle with Sylvia and Cresselia as my leads. I used Helping Hand on my Cresselia to boost pretty much Sylveon's special attack or just its attack in general, and it just does a massive amount of damage. I just really love Life Orb, Helping Hand, Cresselia combo set. I just love it. Now for its ability, obviously it's Pixelate, because if you're going to be using a Sylveon, you either use Pixelate or you're just not going to use a Sylveon at all. Now for its EV spread, I actually went with the exact same EV spread that you saw on pretty much a lot of my team review videos with, but I actually changed it up just slightly. Now obviously instead of a modest nature, I went with the quiet nature just because this is Trick Room. I need like it's pretty much 0 speed in pretty much its speed. I just repeated myself, but anyways, as you can tell from its EV spread, like I said, it's the exact same thing as Aaron Cybertron Zang's, but instead of 48 in its speed, I put the last 48 into its special defense just to make this thing like a full out offensive attacker while also having a little bit of bulk. So that's what I've done. So there's pretty much nothing really changed on its EV spread other than just instead of putting the last 48 in its speed, I put the last 48 into its special defense. Now for its move, I went with Protect, Hyper Voice, Hidden Power Ground, and Shadow Ball. Now, like I said, when I was going over its item, I wanted to have the option to use Protect, so I went with Protect over Helping Hand, considering that my Cresselia does have Helping Hand, so I actually have the option of actually boosting my Sylveon's Hyper Voice with a Life Orb and also with Helping Hand. So that's what I really like to have on this set. Hyper Voice, obviously, if you're going to be running a Sylveon, Hyper Voice is an essential move to have on a Sylveon. Hidden Power Ground. Now, I went with Hidden Power Ground over like Psyshock just because I just don't like Psyshock whatsoever, and I'm also running a Cresselia which has Psychic, which can pretty much deal with like Amoonguses and just pretty much just poison types in general. And I went with Hidden Power Ground just because like Hidden Power Ground takes care of Sylveon's weaknesses, which is Steel and Poison. So if I come across like an Aggron or something like that, I can go for Hidden Power Ground. Super effective, pretty much almost one-shot it because Cresselia with Helping Hand and Life Orb damage is just going to be doing massive amount of damage. So I'm going with Hidden Power Ground over Psyshock, and then the last move I'm running is Shadow Ball, pretty much just for coverage. So with that, there is my Trick Room team. So anyways, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this team review video. Now I'm actually going to stop talking right here so you guys can go and check out a battle that I had with this exact team. Now like I said at the beginning of the video, if I say that if my voice might be changing just a little bit during the review portion of the video, just ignore that part because I recorded the battle portion of the video a couple of days ago. So like I said, just ignore it. So with that, I'm going to stop talking right here and enjoy the battle. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this team review video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, like I said at the end of the review part of the video, my voice is going to be a little bit quieter considering that I am recording this part of the video roughly around 2:40, close to 3 o'clock in the morning, so I do have to be a little bit more quieter. But nonetheless, if you guys did enjoy this team review video, then go and check out my previous team review video of my Mega Gardevoir team. It's such a fun team, such an amazing team. I actually do plan on taking that team to like a tournament that I usually have around my where I live, actually, because it's actually very fun and I actually love that team a lot. So if you guys are interested, then go and check out that video. The link to that team review video will be in the description box down below. And also, I did debut that team on my Showdown Live series a couple days ago, so if you guys want to see how well that team does, then go and check it out on that Showdown Live video. I will have that video also in the description box down below, so you guys can go and check both of those out. But nonetheless, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.